I want to give a brief background why this mental health moments with Angela Nsimbi. This particular time, 2024, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, all the subscribers out there. Happy New Year, all the new subscribers coming on board. This is a conversation on mental health. Now, here we go. This year, 2024, I would like us to do a wellness recovery action plan. Anybody who has mental health challenges, I'm sure you find it challenging. So this wellness recovery action plan, for anybody who has suffered mental health challenges, I'm sure one of the things that angers you or frustrates you, I think the right word should be frustrates you, is not being involved in your treatment. So I will relate to part of how my journey has been, because I had a doctor at least who would ask me, how do you want this to be done? Are you comfortable with medication? And I was able to ask questions. But here is how the wellness recovery action plan works. 1, be involved in your treatment. So in case you have an emergency, a mental health crisis, clearly state up in that action plan how you'd want to be treated. You want to be hospitalized, and if you're hospitalized, what kind of treatment are you comfortable with? Because some people are not comfortable with electronic convulsive therapy. There are many people who are not comfortable with it, and other people, actually in some countries, it has been labeled as a human rights abuse, a form of abuse. So be involved. How would you want to be treated? In case of an emergency, where do you want to go? Because there are also some hospitals, some people are comfortable in certain places and they're not in others. So where are you most comfortable? Which psychiatrist do you want to treat you? But in case that psychiatrist isn't around, because I once had a crisis and the psychiatrist who I was seeing was not around, was not available, and it was an emergency, I needed attention. So in those situations where you can't make certain decisions, that is number 2. Who are you comfortable to choose so that they make those decisions on your behalf? Because decisions like the hospital you want to go to, decisions like the doctor you want to see, mention that person in that wellness recovery action plan. It is important. If you can plan for your finances, if you can plan for your businesses, if you can plan for vacations, why not your mental health? So number 3, something you really need to pay attention to is also what kind of medication. It is important. What kind of medication are you able to handle? Some people might have allergies. It's important to put that in your wellness recovery action plan. If you have an allergy, it needs to be stated so that in case there's an emergency and they need to administer certain medications, that doctors, the medical professionals are aware what to do and what not to do. I pray that this will help you look through what you want, what works for you, but of course, keep in mind, it's important to have good mental health. It's important to enjoy good mental health. And the only way you're going to enjoy it is also to pay attention to what triggers you. I always tell people, if you know that certain company won't boost your mental health, it is okay to keep away from them for a season. And if you know somebody, maybe a friend, maybe a family member, the way they talk about you doesn't make you comfortable and it triggers you, either you have to be bold enough to build healthy boundaries and tell them that, you know what, I don't want the way you address me. This is how it makes me feel. Because sometimes people have also mentioned that whenever they have misunderstandings with their loved ones, because they have a history of a mental health challenge, everybody will bring it up. Particular people bring it up and blame it on it's your bipolar, or it's your schizophrenia. I think we need to be sensitive to people, and if the person addresses you that way, it is important that you also learn to speak up and show them that you're not a diagnosis. You are actually a human being with feelings, and you are also entitled to an opinion. But it's important to also mention this respectfully, because what's important at the end of the day, we need to build healthy relationships, because we need people on our recovery journeys. And one thing I don't want to forget, live by something. You can't just be a boat that sails wherever the waves take you. Live by something. And one of the things that I live by, I'm intentional. And I'll mention 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. I'm very intentional. I speak it in those moments when I'm afraid, in those moments when I'm not sure of myself. And I say, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but that of power, love, and of a sound mind. Never forget that. And also remember to, as you actively participate in your recovery, in your treatment, be mindful of what you think, because what we think makes us. So be careful what you meditate on. So part of your wellness recovery action plan should include, what do I do to keep healthy? What do I meditate on? Remember to meditate on whatever is good, whatever is noble, whatever is true, whatever is loving, whatever is kind. Let us meditate on those things. Because when you meditate on something good, it will affect your speech, it will affect your actions. But when you meditate on negative things, they dampen your spirit, and it will affect the way you even speak over yourself. Because even before you start pointing fingers, oh, so-and-so said this, oh, so-and-so said the other, what are you saying about yourself? So, like I said, 3 points. How do you want to be treated when there is an emergency? Do you want to go to a hospital to be hospitalized? And if you're hospitalized, which hospital? Which doctor? Because I know everybody has different rapport with different doctors. And then which person should be contacted in case of an emergency? Who is that person you're comfortable with making decisions on your behalf in case of an emergency? Because when you have a mental health crisis, it's true. That's why it's a crisis. Many times you'll not be in position to decide what has to be done. But at least there's that one person you can trust will make decisions on your behalf for your good, to quicken your recovery. So this year, 2024, let's make it a point to map out how we want to maintain good mental health. Till next time, this is Angela Nsimbi, Mental Health Moments. Have a lovely day.